Bwana PS, Engineer Peter Tum, the president of the AK Kenya, General 2A, the leadership of the Sports Kenya, led by my friend, the chair, Mr. Gitau, and the CEO, Pius, and the rest of the ministry officials who are here, our coaches, our managers, coaches, and the athletes. Good morning. Good morning. How are you? It gives me great pleasure to be here this morning to witness this very important ceremony of releasing you officially to go and represent our country. I am also privileged to be doing this as my first assignment as a cabinet secretary in the Ministry of Youth Affairs, Creative Economy and Sports. I am very excited by the opportunity to be able to serve in this ministry, and I truly enjoy sports, and I was very happy that my first assignment was to be in Paris with our Olympics team. And for the team that is here, I am a fan of athletics, you know, and so I don't watch anything else on TV. I only watch sports throughout my life, even throughout my political life. I don't want to offend the journalists who cover other news. The good news is that these are sports journalists. I don't watch the other things you usually report. I only watch this one. This is the most important event. When you leave your country, and I've always said this, even for us who are in political life and government, we can have our different political and social, cultural appreciations of everything we do within the country, and everyone has a right to hold a different view when you are in this country. But when you cross the border, either through the airport or the land or sea, we are all ambassadors of our great country called Kenya. And so we are not sending you out there just only to compete. Just know that you are our brand ambassadors. You are the image of your country. You are not a small person as you think at the moment. You may be coming from a small village. This is your first time to take a flight. As I said, my first time to take a flight, I was 22 or thereabout. And you may think that it's just you are on a trip. It is fun. It's okay. But let me tell you, you are going out there. The only thing people will see in the entire world is that how is Kenya? How are Kenyans competing? How do they look like? Where is this country where people are winning gold in this manner? So we are sending you forth to go and represent your country. And therefore, from the president, from myself, from the cabinet, from the people of Kenya, we would like to really say that we wish you the very best, and we look forward to you coming back home with all kinds of medals, and if possible with all the medals in the areas you are going to compete. I want to thank the PS Engineer Tum for the work he has been doing in this ministry. I want to thank my predecessor, even if he's not here, Honorable Babu Namwamba, for the work they have done with PS Tum and the leadership in the ministry, for making sure that they facilitate our sports, and for laying the foundation in terms of establishing proper grassroots institutions, including sports academies across the country, to make sure that we identify the right people to go and compete. That is a job I recognize and I appreciate, and I come to office to work with this team which is here to enhance that grassroots approach towards identification of talent and nurturing and growing talent, so that every other time we do not depend on the intuition of the athletes or the coaches or the lack of students just competing in schools, but there is a deliberate approach towards identification of that. And I want to thank the ministry for supporting those efforts. I want to thank AK through the president who is here and the team that is here for the job they have done well for the last years, and particularly the last few years when they have really focused on grassroots identification of the team. And well done, Mr. President, for a good job. I suspect that the reason why PS was saying that the PS was saying that things are done with precision, he only feared to say with military precision, because General is the president of AK. And I think this kind of discipline that comes with sports can only be found in our armed forces. And I want to say thank you very much for a good job. Going forward, this is an area that we have agreed. As you know, General Tuey is also not just president of the AK, but also vice president in the World Athletics. And so we have an opportunity and to leverage on his leadership at the international level insofar as sports is concerned. And we are very happy for that. We want to thank NOC and this leadership also, Paul and the team, for a job they did very well in the last Olympics and the work they do to support the other federations under them. And this is really very commendable. We have also agreed with General Tuey that we'll sit down with the team in AK to think about the future of the institution and how seamlessly we will continue building in the transition and leadership and growth of our young people, and also mentoring other leaders who come in. We want to see that even when transition happens in AK, it moves seamlessly, and people who have grown through the athletics without any chaos are taking over and growing, and you know, the institution is growing. And I want to thank General for also that very great gesture. Let me say this, that as a ministry, we will continue establishing more sports academies across the country. We will identify relevant areas for different sports. For football, the areas we'll do with football. For the athletics, we will do what we need to do in athletics. I want to say, without fear of contradiction, having consulted AK, that there are schools that are already doing very well in establishment of athletics. And we want to go there and support those schools. As a ministry, even with the little resources we have, we will find ways of supporting those schools, perhaps to even prepare their training grounds to look better, and then for them to be able to access better training facilities. This we will work with the Ministry of Education. This is a collaborative effort, but we will see how we can extend that support. I know a number of schools personally, since I schooled in one of them, that have a bias towards establishing a training ground for the athletes. We want also to encourage a Minister of Education. This is something you will see me with CS Migos. We must formalize our engagement between sports and education in terms of a memorandum of understanding to see how the certain schools will give full scholarships to athletes so that they don't think about school fees. They go to those schools and their focus is education and train for the different disciplines that they want to participate in. That way we will establish and earmark those schools to become schools of excellence in whatever sport they choose. If it is athletics, if it is football, if it is rugby, if it is basketball, if it is tennis, if it is swimming, we need to take advantage of the infrastructure that's already existing in schools to make sure that we grow talent. I know these young people have grown to where they are because of the communities and the schools that they have gone through, and the work that was done by their coaches who are teachers in their schools. And we must be able to support and recognize their effort. The other thing is to say that Kenya is very competitive in athletics. For these young people to qualify, if you qualify to go, yeah, you have already done half of the competition. Yeah? But we are not telling you to sleep. Yeah, the other countries that are also copying us and training and so forth. One of the things I've been told since I came to office is that what is lacking in training of athletics is science, is scientific, applying science towards athletics. And therefore provision of facilities that can have equipment and technology and training that is commensurate to the times that have changed so far. To that end, as you very well know, after this I will be visiting the facilities here, what we are doing in Kasarani and Nyayo Stadium and Talanta Stadium at Ngong Road. And we want to make sure that all the stadiums that are built in the country, whether by private sector or by county government or by national government, meet particular certified standards, so that nobody will build a stadium without getting the certified standards. Otherwise, we will have the situation where in the first term of county government, so many county governments build a stadium that not last even 5 years. Even the third and not last 1 year. Yet public resources have been expended, and yet we don't get benefit as a nation. We will be, as a ministry, soon gazetting the standards of building a stadium, so that we certify that stadium and we identify and publicize, so that when you have a training in any region, we can tell you in Iten, you have a Lona Kiblagat Stadium, it is certified, you can train there, this is the fee they charge, you can be able to train your athletes there. We have Kamarin Stadium, it's a public facility, this is what we train, this is what is going to happen. I am just using that as an example because Kamarin has been in the public scene for a long period of time. So this is something we are going to do for the standards of the stadium. Number two is to make sure that after we complete all these projects that we are doing, we provide necessary facilities, the gym and the equipment that are required for us to train our athletes properly. We have been told that Kenya has lost its trademark sport, which is steeplechase, because we've not provided enough training facilities for us to train our steeplechasers. And that is something we are going to make sure that we identify those places and specifically support them for specific sports that require specific facilities. For example, I'm wondering why pole vault is not being